Hi there, it's Jeanette, and today I'm going to be showing you how I use Prismacolor pencils to create backgrounds behind my images. This is a requested video. I've gotten a lot of emails requesting this, so I'm going to take you through the process. You're going to need some Prismacolor pencils, some blending stumps. I find it handy to have sort of sandpaper to sand them down so they remain pointy, and you're going to need some Gamsol or odorless mineral spirits. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tea ruler and I am just going to draw a line so that sort of makes the ground for Wren. I'm going to start with the aquamarine and I'm going to start laying it down around the edges of my image. You need to put a really sort of hard line of pencil around, so not like sort of a soft sort of line around it. You need to really press pretty hard and get a nice solid line. You need that pigment or that color laid down. And I put it in the background here behind her head and under her arms. And I basically trace the whole figure. So you can just see me going around and making sure I have a nice thick line of pencil crayon. Now I'm going to lay down some yellow color. This is, I believe it's jasmine, just around the sparkler that she's holding and the one in her hair as well. Then I'm going to use my blending stump and I'm going to put some Gamsol on it, and I am just going to run it over the paper, and it dissolves the wax, I guess, in the crayon, and the color sort of gets diffused. So now I'm using another blending stump for the blue, and you can see how it just dissolves that color. So I'm working in a circular motion and making sure that it's blended out really beautifully, and you work away from the image. So you start right near the image, sort of dissolve that color, and then you work your way away from the image and you get that nice sort of soft coloration. I went ahead and took a smaller blending stump just to work in those little areas that are pretty small, because I don't want to get the pencil on her face or on her clothes. So once that's done, I'm going to switch over now to the bigger stump. And again, it's just circular motions. You dissolve the color and then you just bring it out. Now, I am using, for my Gamsol, I stored in that container. I bought that years ago. I'm going to try to source it for you guys, but it's always a good idea when you're working with the Gamsol or the OMS to keep it in a container that you can close, so when you're not using it, you're not breathing in those fumes. It is odorless, so you're not going to realize that you're breathing it in. I like to, right here I'm just showing you how the paper is wet, and when it dries you won't see that sort of line. So as I was saying, it's a good idea to work in a well ventilated area, just in case. I've never ever had any problems, but just be mindful of that. Make sure you have a container that you can close, and make sure you have the window open and you're in a place where there's like the airflow is changing. So I'm continuing, just working my way around the image, blending it all out. I switched and went the other way because I want to be able, when the two colors meet up, I want to be able to blend it out in a nice sort of, it's almost like I'm making an oval around her. So I want to make sure it all stays around the same distance around her. And what you're going to notice, because I blended the yellow color first, it is going to almost resist the blue. So it does give the illusion that that sparkler is lighting up the sky behind her. So I'm just going to make sure everything is nicely blended. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to move down to the ground. I am working with chartreuse. So I don't even bother really erasing that line I made. It doesn't bother me that it's there. This color is apple green, I believe. And I am going to first blend out the lighter color on both sides. And then once that's blended out, I'm going to start working in the green, the darker green. And you can see how nicely those blend together. So that is the Prismacolor pencil technique that I use. I am just putting some stickles on the sparklers. And then the last thing I do is I use my Sharpie poster paint. It's in white, and I just add dots randomly, and I make big dots and medium dots and smaller dots just to sort of add interest. So I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching.